Okay, hello everybody. This is Sedrik and Sidra here for Comparative Reasoning, and we're going to talk about the slap heard around the world. This is Will Smith, Chris Rock, yada yada. Now, there's a lot of topics and things that we can go over with this, and I'm gonna try to bring this up, sporadically, because there's nothing I wrote down or prepared. If that turns you off, that's you. But you ought to listen. Maybe, we'll cover something that's in your favor, maybe not in your favor, and then maybe enlighten you on something. And if we do miss something and you're like, oh, you should have brought up this aspect of something, let us know, and we'll further it. We'll just make a part two, even if that part two is just a couple of minutes. We'll keep going. So bear with us, all right? It's a conversation. And now, so let's just go over what we could tangibly see. Okay. Now, Chris Rock, he's up on stage, and it's definitely comedy time because it's Chris Rock. So,
and he's hosting, and the host is always a comedian of some sort.
Now, I don't watch this stuff because it has nothing to do with me, and I personally don't want to spend my time watching rich people win things.
And I didn't watch it either. It's just that when I get on the computer in the morning, there are certain videos that I'm looking up there to see if there's anything new. And it was there.
And because it was there, she's talking about it, we laugh about it, there's not too much known. So then I'm like, and then she tells me how it kind of went down. So I'm like, now I need to see it from my own eyes so I can be a judge instead of hearsay or you go, girl. You can't do that. You can't blindly pick a side. You just can't do. Well, people do it, and that's why things are dumb as it is. But it's best not to make an informed choice. And so I watched it, and here's the order of events. Chris Rock makes the joke. He's been up there for a while, so he's probably joked about a lot of people and a lot of things. So he makes the joke. Will is laughing. Jada is almost like she just heard the worst thing on the planet, and it's like, how can you get away with that and still run for office? That's the look on her face. It cuts away. Chris is like looking at the audience like, oh, come on. Like it wasn't the greatest thing, but come on, it's kind of funny. Yeah, so now it's time to move on. That joke failed. That's what comedians do. That joke failed. Let's move on. And then he takes a glance and he's like, oh, he doesn't know how to say anything because he's being confronted. Will Smith is coming down there. Will Smith ain't small, and Will Smith looks serious.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows it. And look, let's just keep it real. Chris Rock knows he's not going to whoop most people's asses.
No.
But that doesn't mean, honestly, that really doesn't mean anything. It really don't. But he sees it, and he's flustered. And Will just slaps the brakes off of him, turns around. Now, no, he slapped him and backed up like, is there going to be more? Saw that there wasn't, turned around and walked off like James Bond just got done doing something. Whether it's good, bad, in between. James Bond has done something and he's leaving and making himself look presentable.
And Chris Rock says, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
And gets a laugh from the audience because
it was like a little nervous laugh. That's what it was.
Like, I'm embarrassed, I'm humiliated, but let's try to roll with this and
I think
keep
Chris
it going.
Goes on to say, or tries to say, it was just a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke about and that's when Will has sat down and he said, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
And he's like, tried to say something else.
He was like, it's a joke about, he said, keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth. Okay. So here's the thing. Now that's the whole thing. Let's get into some things from top to bottom that I can think of. All right. Let's dissect this little by little, and I'm hoping this doesn't go an hour. All right.
Man, I see this going an hour.
Here we go. Let's top to bottom. Hey, audience, if you hear something, please timestamp it. So if you disagree with something, vehemently or any level, just timestamp it. Basically, you can just see the time on it, and then you can just put down that time and say, I don't like this. You just put down the time, 01:00, something like that for a minute, and just timestamp it. Let us know what you disagree with so there can be context. All right. Now, the first thing I want to bring up, there's mostly white people in this audience. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, when Chris Rock says what he says, and then he's trying to move on, and then there's that pause, black people already know something ain't right. Then you see Will Smith, now black people are like, shit. So, we already know it done jumped off. We know it's jumped off, and Will ain't the type to get up there and Kanye West somebody. We have not known him to do that. So, we already like, So he goes up there, slap. Audience, there's a little bit of a woo, but it's still kind of funny. Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. It's funny. And then
Will starts talking.
And then the audience is like, oh no, this is real.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, y'all late. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Y'all can take politics, social issues, and everything. That is the state right there. That is the discrepancy of we need help now opposed to why we get help years later when it means nothing now.
And see,
so I'm just saying that is a dichotomy.
The first time I saw the clip, the sound was cut out from the slap onward. So I was kind of confused. I could see that Will was talking, but it was like completely silent. I'm like, okay. Then I spoke to my mom, and she was talking about it, and I was like, at that moment, I was like, it looked like it was staged. I'm like, because why would you do that on live TV like that? And
well, how should you do it on live TV? What?
Let me finish talking, please. Why would you do that? It's a live thing. Shit can't be cut out. There's no do-overs. And then my next thought is, why would you do that in front of company? And for y'all who don't know what that means, in front of company means in front of white folks. Okay. And so then it starts to really pop up on shit that I'm looking at.
More black on black crime.
And more shit starts to pop up, and it's like uncensored. I'm like, okay, uncensored. I'm gonna watch the shit. So I'm watching it. He makes a joke about the white celebrity couple first, and the joke is, if the wife loses, then the husband is hoping, because the husband's also up for Best Actor. If the wife loses, then the husband is hoping that Will Smith wins, because the wife can't lose and then the husband win. Life is not going to be worth living like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
That was the joke. You have to hear it. I don't know the people's names. I don't care. And the joke was kind of funny because I got it. It's from a marriage man-woman point of view.
Gender role and pride.
Exactly. Okay, yeah. I got it.
That dumb stuff. Yeah.
And it wasn't even pride for dude. It was for the woman. It's like if she lose the Academy Award and I win, ain't nobody gonna be ever happy in this house and marriage again. Okay, so he made the joke. Mm-hmm. It was funny. The people laughed, and then it's almost like he threw it in as an afterthought. Jada, I love you.
Yeah.
Looking for the G.I. Jane 2 coming out, and. Until they showed her, I didn't get it. I was like, G.I. Jane 2, huh? And then they showed her, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
And she was looking mortified.
Jada's bald. And then he goes over and slaps him. And then I hear all the audio. And then he starts talking from his seat to keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I was like, okay. I don't think this was all staged.
Okay.
When he started talking and that bass came out his voice, it was like, yeah, nobody was prepared for that.
Oh no.
The entire room probably thought it was staged too, because it's the Academy Awards, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
They're all actors. So if the audience thought it was staged, I could understand that. But when he started,
it's hard to stage a real life slap.
But when he started barking from the seat, that put it on a whole new level.
Mm-hmm.
And my next thought was, okay, but he laughed.
Yeah, Will was laughing.
Will laughed at the joke.
He won't look now. This is the part I was going to get into immediately after I said what I said.
Go ahead.
Jada is mortified. Will now it pans away. Will probably saw Jada, thought about it, and is not going to make the same mistake he made with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when it came to one playing Vivian. He won't go make that mistake again.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to say that part because I didn't think about it.
Yeah,
but it links. So he's like, now, and also it's his wife.
It's his wife,
and if not wife,
it's someone that he cares about
a lot and respects, and is going through a medical condition that just got insulted. And this is someone who, might add, enjoyed dolling her hair up often.
She's a celebrity,
so he was probably sitting there laughing, looked over at her and was like, ah, shit. And then realized how hurt she was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know what? I got to do it.
Yeah.
And now he didn't have to.
He didn't have to.
Oh, no. He didn't have to. He could have been, honestly, he could have been a little more childish, and I'll tell you how. But yeah, he gets up, he has to go do it. He's walking up there, he's adjusting his suit and stuff. Chris Rock can tell something's about to go down, but not exactly what.
Mm-hmm.
But Will, because Will could have got up there on the microphone, and he could have said this there on the microphone, but he wasn't thinking about that. He could just said nothing and tweeted it, or done a video, and he could have said something simple as in, before you come out with a joke, make sure Wanda writes it first.
Something like that, yeah.
Because
Wanda wouldn't have said that.
Your joke is only as tall as you are. He could have come out with
Wanda Sykes is who we talk about, because she's written for Chris Rock before.
A lot. Now, I'll be honest with you, going on Chris Rock's performances and how he makes certain jokes and look at the crowd like, are you dumbasses eating this up? I've been waiting for someone to slap him for a while, so I don't really care. I don't really care. But he after that, and then Will walks away. Chris decides to attempt to defend what he says, and Will is in the position of, right now I'm top dog. You don't insult my wife. You don't insult anyone I care about. And I was probably chill with you until now. Because if Chris Rock was an actual friend of Will Smith, he wouldn't have done that. Chris wouldn't have said it, and Will wouldn't have done it. Mm-hmm. All right. And if Chris did say it, Will would have been mad and be like, we're going to handle this somewhere else. Because when it's a friend, it's different. Okay? And if it's a friend that you felt betrayed by, he's lucky he only got slapped.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Because if they were friends, like, yeah, man, don't make any jokes about her hair or nothing like that. She's sensitive about it, yada, yada.
If you were a friend, they shouldn't have to tell you that.
People are stupid. People are just stupid. Okay? So, no. You got to tell people stuff explicitly, almost lawyerly. Okay? And if he did do all that, and Chris is like, I did anyway because, hey, Now, but that's not how it went down, because I've watched enough of his specials and whatnot and seen enough of his interviews. Not looking for him, but I see him. And not on YouTube. This is when when HBO was a thing and he couldn't have internet and YouTube. But yeah, if this was something where he already knew ahead of time to think about, you would have seen this special look on Chris Rock's face of, I am about to tread in the deep water and I'm gonna see if it lands. You would see that look like, I see the ghost in front of me, but is it going to possess me? I don't know. It's a look. And on every special I could point it out. But here's the thing. This is something that's been done many times. This is the other little social commentary part of it. Joe Torre and people like him, D.L. Hughley, they rip on the audience, the ones that pay to see them. They rip on the fat people. They rip on the nerdy people. Those are the ones they rip on the most. Or if somebody is dressed completely outlandishly weird, they're just dressed completely awkward, they'll rip on them. All right. And it's part of a comedy act usually to do that, but never go too far. These people always went too far, where the person in the audience is looking like, you lucky there's security, or you lucky I would go to prison if I came up there and showed you who the man is. They always have that. Chris Rock, almost no different. So Chris Rock was pulling a nightclub stand-up comedian routine with no respect, and he got dealt with by somebody that don't have to worry about the police. They're not a commoner. No one's going to go up there. There's going to be no assault charges pressed. None of that. But if you got people like Joe Torre picking on the big fat dude in the front or second row wearing anything other than the way he believes a fat person should wear, then, you know, that person got up and just whooped him up. One, that comedian's life would practically be over. But they're going to prison. And people are going to start hating on them. Oh, they couldn't take a joke. So this bleeds into the next part of social commentary about it. Will Smith going up there and doing this people don't leave high school. Once you hit 10th grade, that's it. That is going to be your stupid for the rest of your life. And it takes an insurmountable amount of willpower to break it, especially when you're surrounded by everyone being stupid. It's hard to break the shackles when everybody else is shackled too, because you don't want to be different. So, what am I going on about? Okay, Chris Rock, neutral. Will Smith, just some dude. Make a joke. Will goes up, defend ladies' honor. Now you've opened the floodgates for Jack Wise to start picking on Jada, and to pick about what. So now the bullies are going to come out. Is he going to slap them too? The memes are going to have him slapping anybody and everybody. The memes are going to, if somebody say something bad about Jada, you know, Willow or Jaden, they're going to have memes with Will slapping them. You've got, and then you got the guy saying, yeah, he should have done that. He should. And then you got those saying, dude, it's comedy. It's a joke. It was a flat one. The audience not really caring about it was punishment enough. He was already pretty much embarrassed. He ain't been out in a while, and now he's got that on his soul. So yeah, go ahead with that, right? But no, now, you know, a lot of guys saying defend the woman's honor. You did the right thing because he shouldn't be running his mouth. But then you got this the joke. Chill, let it do what it do. Move on. She should not be harmed physically, but emotional scars are something that takes a while, everyone. You need to understand that. So you've got the women that's like, oh man, he did the right thing. And that creates stress, because either the man would, or if the woman might be like, I would not do that. I would not go up there and risk everything because they told a bad joke. An improper joke. And then you got the women that's like, I want a man that's going to go up there and do that. Somebody insult me, man need to go there and just whoop their ass. Anyone less than that ain't good enough for me. And so those women are going to come out in droves. Oh, Will Smith's a real man. What are you? And it's like, toxicity among toxicity. And I'll be honest with you, guys, ladies, if your partner does that, leave them. Leave them. That relationship is doomed. Respect is out the window. You know, because if you out in them streets, meaning in public for those that are, you know, suburban, and someone heckles who you're with or you, and you handle business physically, sometimes even verbally, that's going to cost you, not the one that did it, because society is too stupid to punish the ones that initiated it. They punish those that are triggered by it. Case in point, it was a while ago, me, Sidra, our daughter, we're walking on college campus trying to get Sidra registered. And we are going downhill, and we got to make this a bus stop. Then you make a right and go uphill. Both of them steep. It's about 4 white people there. 2 of them are girls. And there's one dude, I'm rounding the corner, and right up under his breath, he goes, nigger. And I keep walking like nothing happened. Because if he, nigger, and I just bust him upside his fucking head. One, I know my family ain't going to have my back. They're going to be wondering what the fuck happened. 2, the other white people, they're going to jump on me or, oh my God, call the cops. He just attacked him for no reason. And the one I'm whooping the fuck out of is going to be like, I didn't say nothing. And then I would bring that up. I didn't say that. Or it's just a word. So I lose. Just like anybody else would. You lose. If there's
a difference between not having your back and being like, what the hell's going on? Because if we didn't hear it.
Having my back is like the same as keeping company. It's basically when you see someone fighting, you jump in. It don't matter. It don't matter. You just jump in. All right. The cartoons, you see the smoke screen of fighting. Hey, your person in there, you need to jump in too. We don't know what it's about, but jump in and help them win. And then you find out they started, then you whoop their ass because they stupid. Now they got you pinched. That's and in that system, people learn to keep their nose clean. Just a mic down right here. Okay, so, damn, went right back up to my throat. Okay, so there's all that. Okay, anything you want to comment on real quick?
I will comment on what you're saying based on what I'm about to get into. That makes sense?
I guess so, because I was going to get into the whole free speech thing, but go ahead.
Okay, so I know you don't keep up with it, and I don't keep up with it, but when I'm looking at shit on my phone, I see it. Jada, outlets talk about Jada and Will all the time.
And
They can't do anything, or they can do nothing, and they are still talking about them. They got an open relationship. She said she had an entanglement at this time when they weren't together. She's losing her hair. She shaved her hair off. Did they do this? Did they do that? All kinds of outlandish shit. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. And the whole underlying thing is, don't y'all mind your fucking business. Unless they got a movie or something coming out, or they doing a show, it shouldn't matter. So shit has been getting said about Will and Jada for a few years.
Yeah, and Will, when it started, Will said, why can't y'all just mind your business and let us live our lives?
Exactly. So it's like, all right, when it's out there and articles are being written and shit, there is a whole much you can do about that, but just take it.
Yeah, I mean, you're a celebrity. People are so weak that they got to follow you instead of improving their own lives in a rational manner. But yeah.
So all you can do is just take it. And so you're there, you're at the Academy Awards. No matter the basis of it, it's on the surface, hey, people did well in their craft, they're getting awards. It's supposed to be a positive thing. If you're doing jokes can be done without breaking someone down. But he chose not to do that.
He punched down brutally. And
you know, she wasn't nominated for anything. She's there supporting her husband. And it's a big night for her husband. Even if he didn't win, it's still a big fucking night. Okay. She supported her husband. He bags on her, and she didn't deserve it. And it's not like she woke up one day, got on Twitter, hey guys, I'm gonna shave my head and shave her hair off. No. She was driven to that point because she was losing her fucking hair. And as Sedrik said earlier, it's all kinds of things attached to losing your hair. And I'm not going to say worse if you're a woman. It can be worse if you're a woman socially because that's not really accepted.
And that's when you really do it. Because it's not accepted and it's not hurting anybody.
And, you know, so how much can you take? And now it's in your face. And it's almost even though yet it was a joke, it feels like a bully tactic.
Yeah, it can, because hey, look at you now, because without that, he wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, if she had been long, silky hair down her back, nothing would have been said.
Now let me go on this, and I think anyone can agree with this. If she shaved her head because she felt like it, and he made that joke, she better laugh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. See, when I say better, see, it sounds like a threat, and it should sound like one. It's not. No. What I'm saying is, it would be stupid for her not to find the humor in that.
Yeah.
It would be outright stupid.
Yeah.
All right. Because there's so many women that, and it has been done throughout the annals of time. All right. There are tribes in Egypt in the ancient days where if a woman had hair, she was seen as too good for the people. And if she wasn't too good for the people and she's got hair, they're going to whoop her up or outcast her. So it's all about, as Sidra was saying, socially accepted or not. So, and there's lots of women today that shave their head because one, they're, lashing out, or they're mad, or they're just like, I wonder. Yeah, it's like, what do I got to do? Nothing.
Nothing. It's easy.
I shave, I wake up, wash my scalp with some soap and water, move on. And so it's a choice. So because of that, because this was not a choice, Chris Rock should have shut up.
Okay. Now, let me get deeper into this.
Get deep, baby. Go ahead.
Jada's a black woman. Black women are constantly being judged because of their goddamn hair or lack thereof.
And it ain't by other black people either.
So, basically, she's out there in front of company, head shaved, because she had to make the choice of either be walking around with hair falling out, or to come to a mental and physical and maybe even a spiritual point where, you know what, I'm not my hair. I'm not going to struggle like this anymore. But here comes dude in front of company bagging on her bald head. And it's like...
and her condition is not just medical, it's genetic.
Yeah.
So,
and,
okay.
It wasn't necessary. It punched down. And, especially with his history with the whole his good hair documentary from years ago that's very dated.
It was dated then.
It's a bad look. He shouldn't have said it, and he shouldn't have said it to a black woman. Okay. Because people bag on black women's hair, and then black women trying to deal with whatever hair they were born with, and it's not fucking acceptable. 2, Will was in a no-win situation.
He very no-win.
He was in a no-win situation because he can sit there and take it,
and then say some shit on Twitter later.
Say something on Twitter later. Yeah, he's expected to take it and be a British person and maintain dignity. And then if he gets upset like he did and do something, here comes the angry black man. And then you have people coming out, well, that's how they expect you to act, so he shouldn't have done that.
And here's the other side. If it was a white dude that made that joke against her, what would have happened if Will slapped him? I think security would have rushed the stage.
Oh, yeah, he would have got locked up.
Uh-huh.
He would have got locked up.
There's a lot of comparative thoughts.
The Academy would have, he originally won, but we stripped him because of his behavior, and now this white person wins.
And now check this out. The talk is, should he give the award back? Let me settle this. No. You know why? Because he got the award for acting, not slapping somebody. Okay? So he got the award for a thing. You don't take it away because they did something later. Because if that's the case, there's a lot of people that should not have awards.
And think about this. Think about what Will Smith just did, and think about the example that Sedrik gave earlier, where, some random white dude on a college campus calls him a nigger, and he doesn't say anything or do anything about it because he knows what's going to happen. That is what black men have to think about all the time. They have to suck up all these atrocities macroaggressions and microaggressions aimed at them or their women or their family, and not do anything about it because of how it will look and how it will be perceived and how it will be responded to. But there are so many situations. There was a woman who gave birth to her child. She was experiencing complications, and they ignored her in the hospital for 12 hours. And then when they finally did something, it was too late, and she died. And her husband did not throw a fit during that process because he didn't want to be seen as the angry black man and possibly get carried out there and not be there for his wife. And now his wife is dead because he didn't do anything that might have galvanized somebody to, hey, this dude's flipping out, maybe we need to look at his wife. She's dead. She's away from him. She's away from their newborn and their other children who were at home, just because he didn't want to be seen as the angry black man. How long can black men as a demographic take that and it be too much? And to me, for Will, at that moment, in that space, seeing his woman, his wife of many years, the mother of his children, his partner through life, be humiliated like that,
and seeing it on her face,
and knowing the background, living with her and knowing what she has been going through, he made a decision. No. He was compelled to act because he could not take it anymore. But you're going to have pundits and people, from the peanut gallery all around. Oh, you go up and hit somebody and you get an award. I already read that shit. I'm like, fuck you. Ain't like he got an Oscar for hitting Chris Rock.
Man, don't hold back now. Damn.
It's just...
It's angering. It's frustrating. And this, look, everyone.
And I'm pissed off at Chris Rock for going there. He didn't have to fucking go there.
He put everybody in a messed up situation. But a lot of comedians do that.
And you know what?
A lot of comedians do that.
They do. And if you're in the platform for it, if you are on a comedy show, you're having your show, okay, you can expect to hear some shit. You understand what I'm saying? And at the very least, if you're bagging on celebrities, most likely they ain't gonna be right there in front of you. But this wasn't the venue for it. This was not the venue for it.
And if he did say some other venue, then yeah, Will would have been on Twitter or some interview or something. And look, now, I'll just say it. Yeah, he would have been on the venue with something where he would have been explaining how that hurt Jada and whatnot, yada, yada, yada. The sympathy cards go out. Women will be against Chris Rock, and then Wanda Sykes would be definitely against him, and probably is. And she probably, that was just stupid. I can hear it now. That was just stupid. She got a medical condition. And no black people got it hard enough without you being a dick.
Exactly. I can hear Wanda saying that.
I've heard Wanda very few times, just freestyling what she say. But yeah, I nailed it. So look, they're launching. Hold on. And I listened to this on the LBC. It's a new thing I found on YouTube. British is British, and it was very good, very interesting. They're going to launch a formal investigation into it.
What's to investigate?
Man said words. Man got up. He slapped man. Man felt dumb. Man tried to justify. Man said, shut up. He's like, but shut up. It's over. That's it.
Nothing to investigate. They just say that shit to make people feel like, oh, they're going to take care of it. To allay the fears of, I don't know. But it's nothing to investigate. Everything that happened right there. There you go. This is not like, it's not some undercover, deeply seated, planned, all right, in a year at the Academy Awards. It's none of that shit.
There's two things that need investigating in life. Two things. Cover-ups and conspiracies. That's it.
And this
Other than that, it's pretty clear cut. Huh?
This is neither. It's right there.
It's right there. And so freedom of speech. Look, everybody. Did Chris Rock have the right to say that? First of all, stop confusing rights, lawful, federal, legal rights, with justifications, social justifications. It's not about having a right to say it. Was it just to say it? Was it reasonable? Was the timing okay?
And you know, if
Jada had been bald for 10 years and she's just loving it up, then he could say something, we see how it go. But no, this is recent. It's been two to 5 years. You can't say anything about something. You just can't. You got to let it breathe. You got to let that person become comfortable with it. So it's not about him having a right to say it. Was it just? Let me educate you in under 10 seconds on rights. Only the government cannot silence you. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all that the Constitution is about. It ain't about Joe Schmo on the corner stool telling you to shut the fuck up because you spewing racist shit.
If you spewing stupid stuff or reasonable stuff, and some establishment, some bakery, general store, or something say, we don't want you saying that stuff here. You got to leave. Or if you're going to be here, don't say that stuff. That's an ultimatum. They can do that. That is their right. That's their freedom and their justification.
They are not the government.
If the government says you can't say this, then that's when you say, I'm suing you and I can possibly put y'all in prison. But seeing how the government for the past 8 or 9 years have wiped their ass with the Constitution, especially in the past 6. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't hold your breath, okay? So that's what rights are. The government can't mess with your rights.
And when it comes, Chris Rock made a choice trying to get a laugh, and he didn't think about. He didn't think.
No, he didn't. It looked like it was. By the way,
I had this. This might be funny. I'm going with it. And he should have erred on the side of being decent. Decency is free, y'all. It don't cost nothing. If he had been decent in that split second, everything concerning this would not have happened, and it'd be fine. But no, he wasn't decent. And now it's costing.
Now,
I want y'all to hear me. I'm just going to interrupt for a second. Decency.
No, keep going. My bad.
Is free. It don't cost shit to be decent.
But it seems that people think it costs everything. So they choose the dumbest things that they can do or say. The dumbest things. Let me get to the dumbest parts then. Maybe dumbest, or it might be equal with some other stuff. But there's already talk about whose side are you on. If you are choosing a side of Chris Rock or Will Smith, let me just straight up, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Because choosing their side doesn't do shit for your life. I stand with Chris Rock. It's a joke, yada, yada, yada. Okay, now what?
Now what? Gotta get up and go to work in the morning.
Is Chris Rock gonna call you and say thanks?
No.
And then if you put out something, I want to give thanks to everybody that's supporting me. Hold up. I want to give thanks to everybody that's out there supporting me through these trying times. I like doing the R. Kelly voice because it's funny. You get nothing. I'm on the side of Will Smith, because Jada and stuff. I like Jada. It's like, shut the fuck up. Because Will Smith come, hey man, I want to thank everybody for helping me and siding with us and stuff. You get no money, no fame, no notoriety or nothing. You just get a blanketed, basically a verbal email thanking you that says no reply at the top.
Yeah.
So don't stop tribalizing everything. It's stupid. And it shows how stupid you are. Once you tribalize it, once you pick a side and something's got nothing to do with you, Russia and Ukraine, you're a fucking idiot. And you don't have to stay a fucking idiot. You can choose to say, you know what? Thinking about it, we got too many problems here. in the United States of America to be worried about what they're doing there. So, Will Smith, Chris Rock, let the grown men handle the grown men business. Yep. And you mind your house.
Yep.
You know, mind your house. Worry about the things that affect you. You know, who you vote for and why you vote for them when you're not going to get anything from them except pain and misery. You know, you won't vote for a third party, but you're going to certainly vote for the one that's beating the shit out of you. Good luck in the future with that. And we're in the future, aren't we?
Yeah. And then I guess the next few minutes, the Best Actor award is announced and Will wins. And in his acceptance speech,
he apologizes.
He apologizes for his behavior, but he also gives you a reason for it if you listen to the whole thing.
See, I didn't hear that.
If you listen to the whole thing, because I can't paraphrase it, he says a lot, and he's emotional during his acceptance speech. But he says a lot, you know. He apologized for his behavior, but basically he's being called upon at this time in his life to protect the people that he loves. And in their job, in their role, they have to endure a whole lot of disrespect. And basically, how much fucking disrespect can you endure?
Exactly. And as he was stating earlier about what black men have to go through, that people just want to ignore all of us, you know, forever anyway. I got to be honest with you. Taking it back to the things that I have learned growing up and I heard a couple of times in high school, it's like, okay, Will, you go up there and you assault this person, then you go to jail or prison. How is that protecting your family?
This is true. And he's in a fortunate position where
he's got money, he's famous and all that, so ain't nothing going to happen to him.
Ain't nothing going to happen to him.
He could have went up there and ground and pounded Chris Rock, and they were like, you want to press charges? Nah, man, because Chris Rock don't want to be the one that sent Will Smith to prison, because then he's really going to tank.
And it's a no-win situation.
It's no
for
win.
Black men and black women, which Will and Jada happen to be, because he stood up for and or protected his wife. But if he was just a common layperson, he would go to jail, be leaving his wife, his black wife, unprotected. There is a stigma surrounding black men being angry, being violent, being incarcerated. There's a stigma surrounding black women having to take care of their families without their black men, being unprotected. And all of this gets laid bare publicly in this incident. And there's no right answer, because this shit is built up from generations of racial trauma. It's just no way to reconcile it. There is no right answer. It's nothing but a painful anecdote that could have been avoided had Chris Rock, that motherfucker, been decent.
And see, here's the thing. I can't hate on Chris Rock but so much, because thinking about him as a comedian, he's taking his shot.
He's taking his
shot and seeing how it's going to work out. It just bombed in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And just went into a sinkhole of a lot of the issues that plague black people.
There are, how can I say this? What's the common thing you see in slavery movies and whatnot? You see, you know, the white slave owner taking advantage of the black female slave. Okay? You see that, and you see a lot of times where the black man can't do anything. I select your woman to go in and party with my people. And he got to sit there and that's painful to think about. Okay? Can any of you think about that? The one you love being taken by somebody else to do unlawful or wrong things, basically, you know, forced sexual situations and maybe more. They're being taken away and you can't do anything about it.
And that shit happened from slavery up until the 60s, y'all.
Now, the thing that I want to touch on that people don't talk about is that that's what they show, but equally it happened in reverse, and they don't talk about it. There are multiple times where white back then, and even up until the 50s, might I add, the 1950s, where white teenagers and or mothers, okay, respectively at their own private times, would take a black person into their bed or go to their home and get into their bed, and the wife or girlfriend got to just sit back and take it. They got to sit in another room until that lady is done with their husband or boyfriend or whatnot. They got to sit there and take it. It's on both sides. It's on both sides. But it's all about what's going to get the most reaction. That's what gets on TV or movies. So,
and this stuff, there's a lot of recorded evidence. There's less evidence of it from white women to black men. Not that none, there's just less.
This is toxic. And so let's fast forward this. Think of how many times a woman has sat next to her man during any comedy routine or social situation, and something happens and he's got to act like it. Don't worry about that. That's just some dumb shit. Mm-hmm. You know, it got to him and it hurt him. And only the best women in those relationships realize that their man or significant other is hurt, whether it could be a female or whatnot, transgender. It don't matter. Just their partner, they see their partner is hurt, but they can understand don't worry about it. They're just being stupid or ignorant. I'm just gonna move on. I'm not gonna ruin my life for their stupidity. And let's move on. And and they can't do anything about it. They can't do anything about it. That's what's messed up. That's painful. And here's the thing. Sidra said that there's nothing that can be done about it because there is quite a few things that can be done to stop this crap. There's simple. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, here's a 5-point spreadsheet. No, solving all of this is simpler than you think. But it takes you to change it. The individual you, that if there's enough individual yous, then it will be all of you. Every individual in the United States makes up the United States. You understand that? Without the individual people in this country, there's no country. It's just barren land. So solving this is easy. Number one, acknowledge where you are toxic. Acknowledge where you are not supportive. Acknowledge where you are supportive of the wrong things and force yourself to stop. This isn't right. I gotta find a better way. What's a better way? At that juncture, research other ways to put tools in that place of all that toxic stuff. So instead of, well, you ain't never gonna get no job that I'm satisfied with, instead of all that, be like, hey, get what you can, and we're gonna try to work with this together. I don't care how low it pay, so long as it pay, and we'll work with this. We'll find a way. Be supportive. Honestly, that's why, and I know y'all gonna hate this, but that's why I keep advocating for voting for a third party, because neither party addresses this stuff. And when you vote for a third party, and you can say, hey, look, you running, this is a topic that you need to work on. We need to stop. You need to force that there are new laws that protect the victims. The ones that initiate these issues, these situations, these combats with their nasty words or painful triggers, and they're going out there trying to get a rise out of people, they need to be punished because they're looking to legitimately, physically, or emotionally hurt somebody for their own amusement. And you talk to those politicians that you need to run on this as well. And make sure you bring it to the forefront. and get some legislation going and make sure it happens, because if not, you're done. That's it. If the individual yous out there did those few simple things, and it is simple because they're out there. These politicians, they're running. You just got to figure out who it is. You can't just put R or D and then I've done my thing. No, there are people out there that actually want to help you, but you won't vote for them. Yeah. For some reason. All of this stuff can stop. It can. But like I said earlier, it's that high school mindset. 10th grade is when your stupid happens and you carry it the rest of your life. And everyone else is shackled. You could unshackle yourself. You got the key, but you're not going to do it because you don't want to look different. That's the problem. It takes one person to say, I'm going to be different. And I want to talk to all of you about being different too. And I think that's the best way to go about it. Because of this toxicity, there's no winning point for Will Smith. No winning point for Jada. Because others could say Jada made him do that. No. That was on Will. That was on Chris. That's where that was. Will took it upon himself, just as Chris took it upon himself. And it was handled and dealt with right then and there. There are no sides. It is a situation. The only side that I would think you need to be on is the side of being a better society, so stuff like this doesn't happen again. I think that's the best thing. So like I said, if you disagree with something, timestamp it. Okay? If we didn't get into a certain topic or certain range of things, let us know. And we'll speak briefly on it, or maybe it'll trigger something even longer. But there are solutions. And I fear that people don't want solutions. They just want reasons to keep going further with the stupid that they're doing. Solutions take effort. Solutions take brain power. Solutions take changing your mind on what you thought or believed was right. And saying, maybe it wasn't. Let me do this. Your child is hurt. Your best friend is hurt. You want to fix it. This country is hurt. You are probably hurting. And I'm doing what I can to fix it. Will you let that happen? This has been Sedrik and Sidra for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.